Welcome to this episode of Tap In on Tuesdays, where we use EFT tapping to help you strengthen your authentic creative connection. Today, we are going to be tapping on what I call the first pancake. When I started this business, I knew that my first everything was like my first pancake. And anyone who's ever made homemade pancakes before knows that the first one is really prepping the pan. You're not going to get your best pancake on the first go. Even if you know the ingredients that you put into it, even if you know what you want it to smell like and taste like and look like, the first one is not going to be your best. If it is, woohoo for you, but that's like super rare, and that's okay. In fact, I think that the prepping of the pan is a really great part of the process because you know from that first one what you need to adjust. Maybe you need it at a different temperature, for example. So, let's be tapping. Taking full responsibility for your well-being and all of the benefits that you gain from this. Please be focused with me here and now, not driving or doing anything else that needs your attention. Let's tap on the first pancake. I know that this creative endeavor is the first pancake, and I know what ingredients I put into it, and I know what I want it to look like and smell like and taste like, and I know that I am prepping the pan. I know that I can enjoy this first pancake and that how it turns out is going to help me for all the ones that follow. And so I really appreciate this first pancake. I appreciate that the pancake is prepping the pan. I bow. So, yeah, I love pancakes. I'm really, really glad that I am making these right now. And I'm looking forward to all the things I can do. Because I may be starting with just a standard round pancake. And I know that as I go, I might be able to get a little fancier. I know that if I need to adjust the temperature of the pan, I will know from that first pancake. And I know that if I want to do a different shape, I can. And I might need to practice flipping that different shape. I might need to practice making it the shape that I actually want it to look like. And I can do that. Because every time I do something that gives me a result other than what I was going for, I am learning how to do it differently next time. I am not going to call these mistakes. I haven't done anything wrong in this process. And I am doing my best with what I've got, including my skills. And I look forward to honing my skills. That means that my pancakes are only going to get better and better. That means that I can play around with it. It's sort of like learning the rules so that you can know how to break them. Except there aren't really any rules. There's just a hot pan ready for my batter. And there's my creativity to inspire me to play with it. So I'm not looking at any of my choices as failures just because they turn out a little bit differently than I was intending. Because sometimes they're actually way better than I expected. And sometimes I just have to laugh at the flops. One flopped pancake does not ruin the entire batch. And some of them will look better than others, but they can still taste good, even if they don't look that great. I am so thankful for the ability to prep the pan with this first pancake. I love letting my creativity be playful like this. And I'm going to enjoy every bite. That's it. That's all we have to do. I always say it has to be simple, or it doesn't have to be simple, but it can be simple. We often overcomplicate these things. And it really, I see so many people who say that they want to do something creative and they hold on to it until it's perfect. And part of perfecting something is actually doing it, is having this experiences that help you to gain skills and knowledge and expertise. Because yes, you can imagine it, and yes, you can try it and just be naturally very good at it. No matter what, though, you always are going to have that first pancake. You're always going to be prepping the pan because there are always going to be different factors, even for the same thing. And to hold back on sharing just because it's not gotten to the point of what you would call good enough or perfection isn't necessary so much of the time. You can do your absolute best, and you can do what I am showing you right here, which is that every project that I do is going to get better. I have that expectation and I have that knowing because I learned from it that I'm going to do this differently and I'm going to get different results because of that. So I encourage you right now, just think for a second. What is your first pancake? What is the idea that you're playing with? What is the project that you're working on? What is it that you want to be moving forward on and you're not yet because you're too concerned about getting that perfect one? Or you're, for whatever other reason, you're holding yourself back when really you could be having fun. And it's totally fine to have a couple of those flopped pancakes on the platter. If you want to, put them underneath the better looking ones. But somebody who's hungry is going to want to eat them. And somebody like myself who so appreciates the people who are living creatively and doing what they are really trying to express themselves as. I don't care if you have a flop. I'm happy to see your successes and I'm happy to see your flops as a success too, and learning what to do, learning how to be better, and demonstrating that it's a process, not just the final product. So, I would love for you to share in the comments what your first pancake is or any experiences along those lines that you want to. I think it's super fun to read and I think it's super helpful for people, especially those who are afraid to kind of get started because they are concerned about those flops or they're concerned about the things that they're concerned are going to be more judged. And I don't know. I'm cheering you on either way. So see you next week. Keep tapping.